This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen, and together we are your KTAR car guys, heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we are helping you, yes, you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers, and we encourage you to give us a call. 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text questions to 411-923 as long as you're not driving. You can pull over into a parking lot and text your questions, 411-923. And today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, there's going to be some tips and tricks for taking care of your car, open phones and texts, of course. And people are always confused about this one because they come to my shop and they say, oh, I just had the car aligned. Well, why did you think you had the car aligned? Well, they did it over at Discount Tire. I said, well, no, you had the tires balanced. And people were so confused between tire balance and wheel alignment that, I mean, it's still a confusion.
Well, you get it at the, you have that conversation a lot, Dave. Either, excuse me, it's either the telephone call or it's the, or just in at the counter and you're talking, hey, I need an alignment. Okay, great, we do an alignment. But why? Oh, well, my car's shaking. Okay, so yeah, you're right. There's just a lot of confusion in the terminology, the nomenclature of what's happening in the front end of the car. Is it alignment? Is it balance? Is it a pull? Is it a shake? Is it a shimmy? Is it?
Well, I think probably we got to give you guys some way to remember this. So if it's alignment, wheel alignment, just consider walking pigeon-toed or walking, more bow-legged. That's
okay.
Wheel alignment, your toes are pointed in, or your toes are pointed out. That's alignment, So, and then balance, that's kind of more of a shimmy vibration thing.
Right.
The wheel balance.
So let's play out some of these scenarios.
The washing machine.
The washing, yeah, it's out of balance. So the thing, yeah, all the towels are on one side and the underwear's on the other, and it's shaking like beating the walls in the laundry and whatnot. But so that there's a vibration. I mean, the most typical vibration in which typically you would start with a tire balance or something like that, it's going to be that 45 mile an hour accelerate, on the freeway, typically 45, 65 in that range. You just have a little shake in the steering wheel, maybe you feel a little
in your seat,
little shake in the seat, and you can go through and try and quote do diagnosis and figure it out. But usually the most simple and logical place to start is an visual inspection of the tires. Make sure the wheel's not bent. Assuming you didn't have an episode where you clipped a curb or something like that, we'll start with a tire balance and rotation, and we might find something on the tire too. And then sometimes you might have that low-speed wobble. You feel it at 11, 12, 13 miles an hour. And
that's a bad tire.
That's more like you're really shaking your rump. That thing's moving. And that's a bad tire. And none of those symptoms are to be confused with an alignment.
Wheel alignment,
So if you want to talk about an alignment, you're going to talk about how the car drives in relation to going straight down the road or maintaining, the way to really check your alignment. You're going down the 51 today, or pick your road. I love Osborne between 7th Street and 16th Street. It's nice and smooth and flat. You just let go of the steering wheel. The car should go straight for several hundred yards.
If it leads anyway on the road, because the crown of the road, it's going to go right. A little bit, but it's going to be over blocks.
Right. But you look at these big crowns in the road, and that the car manufacturers and the people that know how to do alignments. And there's a difference between knowing how to do an alignment and make the screen turn green, which says good too. Those are two different things. But all that stuff for the most part is built into the alignment. The angles of the alignment, we can direct the car which way to go without causing tire wear.
So alignment. So that's the other thing that comes up. So what is your symptom with alignment? You talked about it pulls. It's going to the right. Now you can have a steering wheel off center, and you've got to center it. It's not because the car's pulling. The steering wheel could just be off center, but usually it gets centered with an alignment.
Or if you have to hold the steering wheel straight to make the car go straight, if you let go and it turns, but that doesn't mean you need an alignment. Right? I mean,
but the symptoms of alignment are pulling would be one of them, and then the other one would be uneven tire wear. Mm-hmm. So you see the edges of a tire wearing, And it's a little bit hard to see on the front because you can't see the inside edge. So the best way to do it is turn the car on, leave it in park, turn the wheel all the way to the right, and then go out and look at that right front tire and look at the back side
of the right tire and the back of the left tire. Yeah.
Back of the left tire. And if it's not smooth all the way across or evenly worn, different depth of tread from one side to the other, you may very well have an alignment issue.
Yeah. And, we're going to get a car in. Well, let me back up a little bit. The other way now, how do you check the rear alignment? There's a lot of cars. If you have a front-wheel drive car, you can adjust the rear alignment. If you have a rear-wheel drive car, and sometimes you can if it's got independent rear suspension. But a symptom of maybe needing an alignment. But at this point, when you hear the symptom, it might be a little bit too late, but you get that a rhythmic noise from the back of the car driving down the road. Well, what's happened, the tires are out of the wheel, the alignment is out, so the tires have developed a wear pattern. And you can actually see that. If you get behind your car, you can look at the tread on the tire. You'll see that one of them is going to be darker, and then one of them is lighter in color. And then if you look at the two different colors of those tread, the one that, and I'd have to see it again I don't have it memorized, but the one that's darker is going to have a little bit of like an ice cream scoop, a little bit of a dish out of it.
Yeah.
And it's because
feathered is what we call it.
That tread is touching the ground all the time, but the one that's maybe got a little dust color to it, that one's not touching the ground. And so we can realign the car, but you're still going to have the symptom.
Right. So the tire balance thing is more the shake or the vibration at higher speeds. A lot of times, and you can have shakes and vibrations for a lot of reasons. Yeah. The most common being the tire. But I've seen people have, I just got back from the tire store, I had my tires balanced, but their drive shaft's falling out of the car. Mm-hmm. So there is kind of a different RPM or cadence to different vibrations. For sure.
Oh, hey, there's maybe some people listening, and I know there's a handful of shops that have been, I wouldn't call it bit by this, but have experienced. You want to talk about a symptom, try making the phone call to someone who comes in and says their car has or the check engine's light on, and it has a misfire. We're working on it. Spark plugs, fuel injectors.
Oh, yeah.
Tires out of balance. There's something on Toyotas, and it's been seen in minivans where I've had it once or twice, and I know some other shops. The darn tire's out of balance. There's something in that rhythmic or whatever it does will cause the check engine light. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, no, it's just the right
thing.
Right frequency to count as a misfire. So yeah, that's one of them.
Brake drums. We've had brake drums out of balance.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about, you can get cars that are going to pull because you've got a bad engine mount. So more like when you're accelerating. You ever have that? You're accelerating and so the mount's bad, so it's tugging on everything underneath. Well, that's
torque steer.
Torque steer. So that's the other thing. That's more of an acceleration thing. So it may not be out of alignment. It may just need engine mounts.
Yeah, or differential problem. There's all kinds of this stuff. Hey, if this was easy, everybody'd be doing it. There's
and more for you guys as listeners to be familiar with it, because the phone rings and they say, "Yeah, I need to get my car aligned," but maybe they just need a tire balance. So you're going to go and they're going to align your car and you're going to leave with the same vibration because you confuse the two.
Well, and that's where it's important. Again, we beat the dead horse, so to speak. We always talk about the relationship and you asking questions. If you go to the shop and you say, "Hey, I need an alignment," and they just take your keys and say, "Okay," you might not be at the right shop because there needs to be a conversation as Mrs. Jones or whatever your name is, pick your flavor. What's happening? Why do you tell us about this? We need to understand it, not just bring in an alignment and ship it and bring the next one in, just cranking them through. Because based on what you tell us, the pull that, like it was perfectly fine yesterday on the way home from work, and now you go out to do whatever you do and it's pulling, your alignment didn't go bad overnight. You probably have a tire problem. We need to figure that out. Do you need an alignment? Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt the car. You've got 80, 90,000 miles on it. Sure. So the alignment usually doesn't fix problems. It's the cleanup after the fact, after you've replaced the ball joint or the strut or the tires, or you want to do the alignment when you do that, when you have the new tires.
When you get new tires on, get the alignment at least checked. And a lot of these, a lot of tire shops do alignments. You're not a tire shop at Virginia Auto, but you guys do a lot of alignments and because tires. You guys are diagnosing and fixing cars for pulling this, that, the other. So you do it all. But some tire shops are exclusively tire shops, so they don't do alignment. So you're going to need to follow up with your regular shop to get some, get
and
alignment
we'll
done.
say discount tire, and it's not to knock discount tire. They haven't done anything wrong.
They're just not in the business
they have
of aligning.
a huge market share of the tires, and that's a common thing we had. We'll tell people you need an alignment. I just had that done. I have new tires. A discount did it. They just don't do that kind of work. Good,
Right.
bad, or indifferent. They just don't do it. So
When we come back, whether you've got a vibration in your car, or maybe it's pulling, or maybe you got a repair list from the shop that you went to for an oil change, we can talk about anything in relation to your car. Maybe, where should you get to tires, or what kind of tires should you buy for your car? Anything you want to talk about, we can talk about it at 602-277-5827. We're going to tell you a little later on about a cool oil change that's happening at one of the Bumper to Bumper shops. We come back, we've got David, Richard, and Roland and more open lines at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Matt and Dave on Bumper to Bumper Radio.